Good evening. Welcome to Hermit Bob's Dragonfly Garden Bistro. We are currently in the Scullery. Okay, it's the laundry room that's half of the garage, well, quarter of the garage. The garage is out here, right between this curtain and that curtain. I don't know if you can see it. So you can try to peek it. So I got double curtains here. I got these that are supposed to be thermal curtains, but I had to put tarps on the other side to create a little barrier because last week here it's been over 95 degrees every day. But that's not like 95 degrees in Vegas or even Riverside, California. That's because it's got a little thing like a little water in the air. They call it humidity. In fact, they have a heat index of what it is with the humidity. So it was actually I think it was 105 is what it was here today. So in this room with the door shut, the garage part, it's more than 105. I'll tell you that much. In fact, this little air conditioner we got here drops the temperature from outside by about 6 or 7 degrees. Not the suspected temperature, but the real temperature. If it's 95 out there, it's probably 89 in here, which is just enough to make this tolerable to do your laundry or work out here or something like that. But if you're starting to think that it's getting hot in here, all you got to do is walk through that curtain and you'll know what's hot and what's not. Write that down. I think that's going to be a saying. When you're hot, you're hot. Oh, I think somebody already said it. Anyway, yesterday, we've been having trouble with this little thing for probably the past month anyway, is it was not really getting cool. I mean, it was still cooler, but it was running and blowing cold air and stuff. But yesterday, it quit blowing cold air. I would turn it off, turn it back on, and start with cold air, and then it'd stop right away. So couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, oh, it's time to get a new air conditioner. It's 3 years old. Maybe they just don't build them to last. But then I remember YouTube. YouTube is where I found YouTube. Was back in the early 2000s. I don't know when. I had a problem with my dryer, and I had to call a guy out to fix it, and they wanted like $150 to come look at the dryer. Some crazy thing. This was when I was living in Washington State. I don't know if they do that here in Florida. I haven't had to call them yet. Anyway, I went on, found out about YouTube. Went on YouTube. The guy was fixing the dryer just like ours, and he showed me how to do it, and I did it. And then I had a problem with the refrigerator. Same thing. Went on YouTube and did it. And I had a problem with the stove, and I went on YouTube, did it. So YouTube's been my friend, especially with like computer stuff. I have no idea how to fix a computer, and I don't know how I fixed it with the YouTube advice, but it worked. And so it doesn't make me a Rhodes Scholar. It makes me more of a Rhode Apple. There's a joke there somewhere. Anyway, they said I watched a whole bunch of YouTubes yesterday about portable air conditioners, and they said the most common thread they said was that there's two grids back there that cool the air and warm the air, and they get covered with dust. And so you can take off the top cover on the back and just vacuum it out, which I do about once a year. You can't get to the bottom one. So one guy, I asked him the specific model. I typed that in for looking it up on YouTube, and he had this model. And he had the same problem. He took off the back end. It was like there was a carpet of dust, thick dust, stuck to that bottom condenser coil. So I took mine off. He showed me how to do that. Took mine off, and there was a thick carpet down there of dust. So I vacuumed it all up, put it back together, and it's working fine. I love it when it works out without having to pay $150 for somebody to come out and tell you how stupid you are. People will tell me that for free. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say was last time I told you about a movie that I watched that if you watch it, you better not turn it off before the titles are done because there's a great scene at the end. Well, I watched another one tonight. Same deal. It was a great movie, really, really good. It's from 2022, and it was Bob Odenkirk was in it. I didn't know who that was, but I'd heard that name so many times. I watch a lot of comedians and stuff talking about podcasts and stuff like that. That name seems to come up all the time. So I don't know what he does, but He was really good in it, but that's what got me to watch it. And Christopher Lloyd was in it. Now, there's somebody that I can recognize. I knew him for a long time. Taxi and Back to the Future, all this stuff. Anyway, it was a really good movie, and I watched the credits. I tell everybody that I picked it up from having to go to movie theaters, not wanting to get stuck in the crowd when everybody gets up to leave. So I just would sit and watch the credits, and it's fun. I find out stuff like where they filmed it, who sang the songs, things like that. And anyways, I'm watching the credits, and there's a whole nother scene at the end. So if you watch that movie called Nobody, The Nobody, anyway, Bob Odenkirk, look it up. And that's it. Gonna go move into the real air conditioning now. Although it is about 85 in here now, it's still about 105 out there, and it's really cool where you're at.